86% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck.
I'm the CEO.
Is that you? I'm the CEO and founder of Fortress, America's first holistic financial education company. I wasn't born into wealth or taught anything about money, and I lived on welfare for most of my childhood, but I wanted more. So I created Fortress to help people escape poverty like I did.
Mr. Rondi Lambeth, award-winning host of Your Credit Matters radio show and iTunes podcast, the international best-selling author of Great Credit for Life, and a frequent speaker on the topic of finances and credit repair with TV stations across the U.S. and a regular keynote speaker at Harvard. Rondi has helped hundreds of thousands of Americans. He has deleted millions of accounts from his clients' credit reports and eliminated over $50 million in debt.
Who's excited to train with me behind these doors?
Put your hands together for Rondi Lambeth.
Raise your hand if you'd like to have a higher credit score.
A government study indicated that as many as 40 million Americans have a mistake on their credit report. Those mistakes can be nearly impossible to get removed from your record.
1 out of 5 Americans has an error on their credit report, and 1 out of 10 has an error on their credit report that might lower their credit score.
Your FICO score is the most important number in your life. It determines how much you pay for gasoline, groceries, internet, electricity, car insurance, life insurance, homeowners insurance, and interest.
Fortress is one of the fastest growing and most successful credit repair and coaching companies in the country, for good reason.
Get ready because he'll blow your mind.
I feel like my life is back on track. I'm really excited to be getting my credit fixed.
Rondi cuts right to it, shows you how to find financial independence.
Fortress is number one.
You are an absolute subject matter expert. You are passionate about what you do.
A phenomenal thing. Credit cards, no problem. Mortgages, no problem. It's just a tremendous program. We definitely need somebody like you. So thank you very much, Rondi.
I just want to say thank you so much. What you do is bring hope and possibility and calmness. I've been out of the country for 10 years, and moving back here was made a lot less scary, starting the journey of working with you. And just, I am so grateful to you and your team and everything that you are doing right now.
Thank you.
It's changing my life.
Credit ratings drastically improved. You had results for us.
He brought me in October. I was 670. By Christmas time, I was a 785. Like, bam, just like that. Incredible results.
Really helped increase my score by over 100 points.
Since I started working with Rondi and his team, their mentorship, it made it just seamless. Within 30 days, my credit rose from a 634 to a 720, which is insane.
Has went from 530 to 735. So I'm very impressed how you've been able to help us, and hope you can help other people like you're helping us.
He did a few simple things that I wouldn't have thought about, and I'm happy to report I went from 500 and something to an 802. I qualify for absolutely any loan there is now. Buying some real estate, I just bought a brand new pickup. Things are good.
Just through getting inside their program, doing exactly what they said to do, no exaggeration, my credit went up 75 points.
We just had Rondi Lambeth come and speak with us, and it was incredible. He taught us about tax strategy. He talked to us about investment. He dropped personal knowledge from his life, and it changed us, and it was amazing.
It's a mindset shift that I need to make, and it definitely opened my eyes to making that shift in order to best leverage my credit. And I appreciate all the knowledge that you share with us.
Yeah, I just had a call with Rondi. It was awesome. Biggest takeaway, I literally figured out very simple ways to not pay taxes on about $50,000 of income, which is going to be huge for me this year.
Thank you so much for your help. I'm so excited about the future.
My name is Rondi Lambeth. I'm a certified FICO credit professional, CEO and founder of Fortress Credit. Been around since 2007. We've helped hundreds of thousands of people remove inaccurate items from their credit report, like late payments, charge-offs, collections, judgments, short sales, bankruptcies, tax liens, repossessions, and everything else. And we do that by simply understanding how the law works. I want to help you get out of consumer debt, teach you how to increase your credit score, teach you how to make more money in your current job, your current business, and how to create generational wealth without giving up your lifestyle. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's not like regular school. I'm Rondi Lambeth, and this is Fortress University. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? Glad to be here. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. I need to make sure you guys can hear me okay and see me okay on Zoom and on YouTube. So if you could, in the chat, give me a thumbs up or yes if you can see and hear me okay. That would be really helpful for me. I would appreciate that. All right. I'm just working on my thing here. I think it's still sharing my video. I don't want it to share. Let's see. Let's make sure everybody can hear me. Got it. Cool. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Shall we get started? First of all, let's make sure you got a pen, something to write with and something to write on, because I'm going to give you some information tonight that, if applied, could change your entire life, because it is going to help you increase your credit score, lower your debt, reduce your taxes, and build a life worth living. So with that being said, also, as I go through tonight, if you have any questions at any time, please put it in the chat. I will answer all of your questions at the end of this short workshop here. So I'd rather have you type in the question now, because it helps me as I see the questions coming up. I can start answering them along the way, but I will answer them at the end. And even if you put it in and I answer it later, it's okay. Just put the question in, so that way you don't have to remember what you want to ask me at the end in case I don't go over it. So with that being said, I'm going to turn off the AI thing. I don't know why I was asking for that. There are two things certain in life. That is death and taxes. You probably heard that before. Ben Franklin said it. And I want to add to that. And I'm going to add this: and everything costs more if you have bad credit, because it does. Gas, groceries, electricities, insurance. It's not just the interest rate. And what I mean by gas, groceries, insurance, cell phones, utilities, the reason it costs more is if you have bad credit, then you're most likely paying with a debit card or cash or a check. Whereas if you have great credit, you get a card like American Express, City Double Cash, Capital One. I get as much as 10% cash back sometimes when I use my credit cards. So it is something that can definitely help you save money if you get cash back. So I'm known as America's credit expert. I got that name because last 17 years, I've helped hundreds of thousands of people fix their credit so they can buy a home. I'm one of a very few, less than a dozen folks in America that are FICO certified as a credit professional. I also have had a radio show, an award-winning radio show since 2010. So 14 years running. Also airs on iTunes, Spotify, everywhere else as well, anywhere you can listen to radio or podcasts. And I have an award-winning TV show, and I've been featured on NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, ESPN, and every other network out there regarding credit. And it's not just me saying it. Let's hear what Heather has to say about what I was able to do with her finances.
I never felt like I could actually understand it because I just kept hitting walls. You know, my credit was bad. It was in the 500s. And that wasn't because I was a bad person. I was making six figures and I literally had 4 across my credit. The psychology is against us. And so in this program, it's like, it's revolutionary. And my credit's about 130 points. And that's what Fortress University is. It's a lifestyle to understand the real game of finance and the real game of money and the real game of banking, not the BS crap that we were talking.
You heard her say there, she was making 6 figures, but she had a poor credit score. And I did a video today that I was talking about that, how you can make 6 figures and have decent credit, like good credit. She didn't have late payments or charge-offs or collections or anything like that. She just didn't know how to manage her credit. And you'll learn later on that 80% of your credit score has nothing to do with negative payment history. 80%. And so, yes, she's making six figures, living in a beautiful condo high rise in Tampa, but poor credit score. And in a short time, we raised it 130 points, pushing her into excellent credit scores. And I'm going to show you how to do the same thing. This is where I grew up. I'm the oldest of 11 siblings. Until I was 15 years old, I lived in this shack, no running water, no electricity. We got our food out of a dumpster if we couldn't buy it with our food stamps. And I left home at 15. I got tired of living this way, so I left home. But I had a good childhood. I think it was good. It was interesting. My mom did the best that she could. This is my mom in this picture. She's 18 years old. That's me. I'm about 9 months old here. You can see my mom is very large still because she's pregnant. In fact, a month after this picture was taken, which is the only picture I have with my mother as a kid. A month after this picture was taken, she gave birth to my little brother, Jeremy. And him and I share the same age, 2 months out of every year. He's my Irish twin. So him and I right now are both 52 years old. This was our first house that we lived in as a kid, different than the other one I just showed you. In fact, this wasn't a house at all. This was actually a storage shed that my parents converted into a house because they're both teenagers in high school. Their parents were upset, my grandparents, that she got pregnant. So they kicked them out. So they moved into the neighbor's storage shed. That's why you see no drywall, no electricity. It's just insulation on the wall to help keep it warm. Because here in Idaho, it gets cold in the wintertime. But see, my mom, somebody's saying that it's not working here, and I don't know. I'm going to share here. There we go. My mom did the best that she could do. She did the best that she could do with the information that she had, the experience that she had. So I have no hard feelings, but almost everything my mom taught me about money wasn't true. The big lie is that if I went to school, got good grades, went to college, I would be successful. And as you probably know, and you probably know people that went to school, got good grades, got six figures worth in debt, and they can't even get a job. That's the economy that we live in. The other lie about this is that this is actually money. It's not, my friend. This is a Federal Reserve note, an IOU. The Federal Reserve issues. See, this is credit. It's technically credit. It's not a credit card, but it is credit, because if you take this, it used to be when we were on the gold standard, you could go to any bank, take in a $100 bill, and they'd give you $100 worth of gold. Now, it's not worth anything. It's just what the government says it's worth. And if you pay attention to inflation, you see this worth about 20% less today than it was this time last year. And it goes down every year. If you want to really look at how bad inflation is, Google a $100 bill, what you could buy with a $100 bill 100 years ago. Can't even get anything close to that anymore. Here at Fortress, we teach three things. How to maximize your credit, how to minimize your debt and taxes, and how to multiply your income and your assets. And I'm going to share that with you tonight. So how to maximize credit? Well, before you can figure out how to maximize credit, you need to understand credit. So what is actual credit? Now, credit's been around for thousands of years, but it's only been a credit reporting agency for 200 years. What I find interesting about this is the first credit bureau was in London, England, in a town named after my family, Lambeth. My last name is Lambeth. On the south side of London is a little borough called Lambeth. And the first person, he was a suit maker, And he was the first person that we know of that kept a list, a ledger of everyone who bought a suit from him, and then whether they paid late, or didn't pay at all. And he started selling this list, this ledger, to the butcher, to the carpenter, to the blacksmith. Because back then, your credit was based on your word. And so because he had a ledger, he could show that this person says they're going to pay you back, but I can show you they don't pay back. And it's evolved since then. We have thousands of credit reporting agencies nationwide. It used to be tens of thousands. You probably thought there's just three: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. But no. Depending on where you live, there could be a different one. Like in Biloxi, Mississippi, there is the Credit Bureau of Mississippi. Yes, they use the same data. They buy it from the credit bureaus, but they are a separate credit bureau. And when we work for you to fix your credit, remove information that shouldn't be there, we contact all of the credit bureaus, not just three, all of them. In fact, we freeze your credit file on all credit reports except for the three. This way, if there's ever any information sent to the cheaper credit bureau, like Biloxi, Mississippi, the Credit Bureau of Biloxi, it doesn't report because it's frozen. So these are things that we've learned over the last 17 years to help you. And with that, you need to know how credit is calculated. Earlier, I said that 80% of your credit score has nothing to do with whether you pay your bills on time. 80% of it. And I'm going to show you how. Because if you look at this chart right here, you see this is 35% says payment history. But you see it doesn't say negative payment history. It just says payment history. And then up there it says 30% is amounts owed. Over there it says 10% is new credit. So when you have inquiries. And then length of credit history. And then 10% in yellow for credit mix. They want to see a mixture of credit, not just only one thing. So not just credit cards, not just car loans, not just mortgages. They want to see a mixture, and they take all of that together to create your credit score. But only 20% of all of that combined has to do with your negative payment history. Let me show you. Let me show you how that works out. So if you take that and you look at your credit score, and I'm basing this on FICO and only FICO because I'm a FICO certified credit professional. Over 90% of the banks in the world use FICO, so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. But if you take this, your FICO score is 300 to 850. And you've probably seen that before. I'll move this over for my YouTube folks because the logo's right in the way. But what does that mean? So when you go to a bank and you apply for credit and you have a 300 credit score, 400 credit score, what does that mean to the bank? It means you're not going to get the loan, most likely. But here's the fact about that, something interesting for you. Your credit score will never get you approved for a loan. Credit scores never get you approved. They only get you denied. Credit score will get you in the door, but you still have to qualify. I'll give you an example. If you have an 850 credit score and you want to buy a house, but you have no income, no assets, and no history of ever owning a home, you're not going to be able to buy that house, even though you have an 850 credit score. Because if you have no way to pay back the loan, the bank's not going to loan you the money. So credit scores never get you approved, they get you denied. But what does the score mean? So here's what I want you guys to write down. Write down 300 to 850 for me. Write that down on a piece of paper. 300 to 850. Now, once you have that written down, I want you to go here and put a little period right there and a period right there. And then I want you to do a little percentage sign. So it should look like that, 30% to 85%. That's essentially what your credit score means. So if you have a 550 credit score, let's say you have a 550, that's essentially a 55% chance you will pay your bills on time over the next 2 years. If you got a 650, a 680, a 720, a 740, an 820, or an 850. You guys get it? Percentage, percentage, percentage. Banks only want to loan to people, most banks, that have a 75% chance of getting their money back. They know there's never 100% chance they'll ever get the money. So they know that if it's a 75% chance, that means 25% of the people they loan the money to won't pay the interest. So what they do is they figure out the math of bean counters, and they figure out how much interest they need to charge you to pay for all the people who don't pay. So if you have a 820, you are going to pay less interest than someone that has a 680 or 550, because the likelihood of a 550 defaulting is much higher. So that's really all the credit score is. It's not that complicated. Now, is the algorithm more complicated than that? Absolutely. But for what you and I do with credit, that's all you need to know is what's the likelihood of me being late over the next 2 years. And that's all that percentage means. So hope you got something out of that. So 100% of all credit reports contain mistakes, errors, erroneous information, outdated information, unverifiable information. And here's an example. See, on TransUnion, they're stating that this person was late in October 2022. Now, I want to throw this out there for you. Everything I show you tonight, everything, is from clients' credit reports or from clients. There is no Photoshop. There is no editing. These are screenshots that are blown up. Yes, I black out their names and account numbers, but everything I show you is real, provable credit reports, real, provable testimonials. Why that's important is it's illegal to post something that's not accurate, that's been photoshopped. Now, I might look good in pink. It's my favorite color to wear. I do not look good in orange. Therefore, I don't do things that are illegal because I don't want free room and board. I don't want to live somewhere when only the people that have guns are the guards. I would rather live in freedom than try to make a couple bucks by lying and cheating on a slideshow. But check this out. Look at that. Experian says they were late in September. So let me ask you a question. Who's right? Is TransUnion right that they were late in October, or is Experian right that they were late in September? I don't know. Client doesn't know. I don't think the bank knows. The credit bureau definitely doesn't know. But here's the great thing about this. It doesn't matter when you were late, because I will never dispute whether or not you were late, because it's irrelevant. I'm going to dispute the mistake. See, when we dispute it, I dispute the fact that they're showing September and October. Today, I saw an account that was paid off in March, and the credit bureaus had her reported late in April and June and August, and it was paid off in March. How does that work? All three bureaus were wrong, and it was paid off. These are the types of errors that are on everybody's credit report. 100% of all credit reports contain mistakes and errors and unverifiable information. Here's an example. This is an example of another credit report. And why it's all circled in red is this is how we dispute things. This is actually a letter that part of a letter we sent to the three credit bureaus, or I'm sorry, the two credit bureaus, TransUnion and Experian, because this is only reporting on the two. But look at this. Look at that right there. You see it? If you look close, it says it was opened January 22nd, 2022. Okay. January 22nd. All right, that's fine. What's Experian say? January 1st, 2022. Well, which one is it? Is it January 1st or January 22nd? For your married folks out there, that's like getting your wife's birthday wrong or your anniversary wrong. Honey, how long have we been married? I was at a dinner party on Sunday. She says to her husband, how long have we been married? And he's like, 44 years. Had to think about it. Can you imagine what your wife would do to you or your husband would do to you if you didn't know their birthday, your kids' birthday, your anniversary? It's illegal for the credit bureaus as well to show wrong dates because it does or it could impact your credit score in a negative way to where you could not buy a house. Is that fair? That because of this mistake right here, you couldn't buy a house? I don't think it's fair. And that's why the Fair Credit Report Act says they can't do it. It has to be accurate or they have to delete it. How about this one? TransUnion says this collection is still open. Experian says it's closed. Is it open or is it closed? Because there is a difference in your credit score if the account is open or closed. Have you ever pulled your credit and seen that all three of the bureaus, or saw rather, that the three bureaus have different scores? Why is that? Why does it look different? It's because of information like this that's illegal. So when we dispute on your behalf, we are disputing the errors, the mistakes, not whether or not you owe money, not whether or not you were late, because that's irrelevant. If I'm disputing whether you were late, I have to prove that you were not late. Well, how do I prove you were not late if you actually were late? I can't. So why even bother with that? I work like a defense attorney. I try to find not loopholes. I try to find mistakes in how it's being reported. And then we exploit that mistake in a way that we get it removed. Easily said was, we make them an offer they can't refuse. Because if they refuse to comply, we have a law firm that files the lawsuit. And that's how we work. And that's why we get better results than most credit repair companies. These are another examples. These are actual pictures of people's credit reports. Look at that. Deleted, deleted, deleted. What's that going to feel like when you open the mail? Because they're going to mail you the letters. What's it going to feel like when you open the mail and you open it up and it's just deleted, 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 deleted? I can tell you for the last 15 of the 17 years I've been in business, we used to pay per delete. What's interesting about it is clients would get, like this client, 90% of everything deleted on his credit report in less than 6 months. And we get some people, not good people, they're bad people. They would hire us. We delete 90% their first month. They get the mail, open it up, delete it, delete it, delete it. And they're like, oh man, I got to pay for every one of those. And then they disconnect their phone number, or when we call them, they're like, I don't know who you are. I don't owe you any money. I didn't hire you. After all, they didn't pay their bills. They didn't pay us either. But that's very rare. It's very rare, but it happened, as you can imagine. But look at this, 90% deleted. And what we like to do for our clients is we put it in a PDF, and every time we have it deleted, we highlight it in a color so you can see what month it was deleted. So you don't have to go through your whole credit report, compare it to 3 months ago or 6 months ago. You literally just look at the PDF. Here's the items that were deleted, and these are the dates we deleted it. On average, we see an 85% deletion rate. And the reason I say on average is because sometimes, actually oftentimes, we find things on your credit report that, yes, you might have been late on it 4 years ago, but deleting it's not going to help your credit score. So in that case, we don't work on those. And that's why we don't hit 100%. Because if your oldest account, let's say you have an American Express credit card, you've had it since 1999, 24 years you've had this credit card, but you were late 4 years ago. That late payment has no impact on your credit score after 2 years for a 30-day late. So if I go in and dispute it and get the entire 25-year-old account removed, that's going to tank your score. And this is why a lot of times when someone hires a credit repair company, when they're done, their credit score is worse than when they started. I know when I filed bankruptcy in 1995, I was 24 years old. I was a dumb kid. I didn't know any better. I hired a credit repair company. I paid them a couple grand up front, which was illegal. I didn't know it at the time. I was desperate. When they were done working on my credit was worse than when it started because they deleted all of my history. And so it was like I was 18 years old starting over again. Now, I was only 24 years old, so I didn't have that much history. But can you imagine if you're 50 years old and it deletes everything? And now I'm an 18-year-old kid, basically. We don't want that. So we don't work on things that are not going to help you.
I got a 158-point increase.
I now have, I think it was a 781 in less than 50 days. It was just crazy.
In October, I was 670. By Christmas time, I was a 785. Incredible results.
That's just some things that clients say about us. If you want to see more, we have over 1,000 of them on our website, over 1,000 5-star reviews. Lots and lots of testimonials over the last 17 years. I'm also going to show you how to minimize your debt because that's what we do. We have a law firm that we can settle debt for you much cheaper. In fact, I talked to a guy today. He was paying 35% of the total debt. So, for example, if you owe $10,000, you'd pay the debt settlement company $3,500 to settle that. We don't do that. We only charge you 20% of what we save you. So if you owe 10 grand and I wipe it out and you do not have to pay anything to the bank, it's 20%. You save $10,000. And sometimes they even pay you. But here's an example. This one here. This was a JP Morgan Chase. We saved her 61%. This is Wells Fargo, saved this client 66%. This American Express saved him 67%. Yesterday, we had one that went through. We saved him 80%, but I don't have the letter yet. So maybe next week I'll have the letter for the American Express yesterday. And then this one here, 71% with PNC Bank. And then sometimes we get 100% savings, and sometimes you get a check. This was a client that got a 4 or 5 cell phones from a very large cell phone company. I can't say who they are because we signed a non-disclosure agreement. And they messed up on her credit report, the way they reported it. And we asked them to fix it. We made them an offer they couldn't refuse. We asked them to fix it and they refused. So we filed a lawsuit. And in turn, they sent us a check for $8,000. And they forgave the $4,100 the client owed, and they deleted it from all 3 credit reports. So sometimes we get you a little bit of money. Now, $8,000, this was a big case. Usually you're going to get around $1,000. But look, $1,000 goes on, not as far as it used to go, but could you use an extra $1,000 right now, tax-free, $1,000? Probably so. I could always use $1,000.
Hi, my name is Amy. I went through a terrible divorce. My credit was horrible after. I had so much debt I didn't know how I was going to even pay it back. Rondi eased my mind. Not only did he help me increase my credit score, but he eliminated my credit card debt. And then with my divorce settlement, he helped me invest it in a safe investment. And today I can't thank him enough, and I can't thank his team enough. I don't even know where I'd be today without you guys. So thank you.
You know, we help our clients increase their credit scores so they can buy houses and cars, refinance their debt. In her case, she had a bunch of credit card debt, had a bunch of money coming from her divorce settlement, and we were able to help her put that in real estate. So now she's earning 22% interest on it. It's enough that she could retire from because it's a big settlement. But you can see she's younger, so she's not going to retire. But when she's done, it'll be worth a couple $1 million. And I'm really proud of that because I think otherwise she would have spent it all by now. Because she gave us half of the money to invest, the other half she kept. She's already spent it all. So, 95% of people that win the lottery end up bankrupt within 5 years because they just don't know about money. And that's something that you will learn from us is how to manage your money, how to make money, how to invest money, how to save money. Most importantly, how to keep your money. I'm also going to teach you how to minimize your taxes. Taxes are our largest expense in life. And you see Donald Trump walking around telling everybody no tax on tips. It's going to make car loans tax deductible. All these tax things. Now, why does Donald Trump talk about taxes so much? Because he knows how detrimental that is, how damaging it is. You notice politicians in general never talk about taxes because most of them have never run businesses before. They've worked for the government. That's their job. Donald Trump was a business owner. He understands how damaging overtaxation is. You know, I saw a video the other day of Elon Musk. He said they tax you on the money you make, they tax you on the money you spend, then you go into retirement and they tax you on your Social Security. Think about that. They're taxing you on your Social Security. You already paid taxes. Why are they taxing you on Social Security later? It's your money. Shouldn't be taxed on Social Security. But what we teach you is how to write things off that the rich write off. For example, the rich write off their homes. This home right here rents for $100,000 per week in Augusta, Georgia in August. Why? Because the Masters Golf Tournament. Because they understand the tax code, they don't have to pay any income tax on that 100 grand. You can do the same thing if you know what to say. So you could rent your home on Airbnb for a week and then go on vacation for a week and you pay no income tax on that. It's a great way to pay for your vacations. If you're a business owner, you could rent it to your business. And now you pull the money out of your business tax deductible, put it in your own pocket, tax free. And I'll show you how to do that. We also show you how to write off your children. There's almost an additional $15,000 write-off per child that's under the age of 18 that lives with you. 15 grand in addition to the child tax credit and your standard deduction, but only if you have a business. So why don't you just start a home-based business? And so we show you how to do that. Here's how simple it is. For every person that you send me, if you became an affiliate and created your small business and you refer me something, I'm going to pay you $100 to $1,500 depending on what they buy from me. That now qualifies. You're now in business. And now you can write off your home, your car, your cell phone, your children. And when they go to college, you can write off up to $35,000 per year. How cool is that? And I'll show you how to do that. Because taxes, it's not how much money you make that makes a difference. It's how much money you keep. Here's a client, and here's what they have to say about our tax program. Which, by the way, as of January 1st, we will be filing taxes for our clients as well. Because it's something that people ask us all the time, like, do you have a good CPA? And I'm tired of referring out people and getting bad reports back. So as of January 1st, if you are a client of ours, or even if you're not, we can file your taxes. And many times, no money out of your pocket. The IRS pays us. How cool is that?
And I owe in total like 400 grand, but they'll probably get me down to like 50 grand in taxes.
Just had a call with Rondi. It was awesome. Biggest takeaway, I literally figured out very simple ways to not pay taxes on about $50,000 of income, which is going to be huge for me this year.
So Jared owed $400,000 in taxes and we got it down to 50, saving 350 grand. I'm going to teach you how to multiply your assets by using business credit. So you can start a business, establish business credit, get corporate credit with no personal guarantees, no personal assets, and then use that to buy real estate, to buy business, to buy stocks, to buy crypto. Crypto's going crazy right now. I was looking at a chart on Bitcoin. Next week, Bitcoin's going to go absolutely crazy. It has every single year since like 2007, this next week in October. It goes crazy. Crazy and good. Okay? Yesterday it tanked. The big stock guys got in, bought a bunch, drove the price back up. It'll probably go back down tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens. But we help you build your assets, multiply your assets, build business credit, start businesses, etc.
Working with Rondi, I did get approved for 44,000.
Without you, man, I wouldn't even be able to own real estate right now.
Before Fortress University, I really didn't know how to get myself out of debt and what to do to start to really build my business and improve my credit and actually acquire wealth.
As you can see from this, we can help anybody, old, young, male, female, white, black, brown, short, tall, fat, skinny, doesn't matter. Anyone who has a social security number, we can help you. Anybody that wants the help, I should say. I'd like to introduce my family too, if I can. Like I said, I'm the oldest of 11 children. I haven't always been close with my family. I'm closer now than I ever have been before. But I love spending time with my children and my grandson, who turns 13 tomorrow. Caden turns 13 tomorrow. And one of the nice things with understanding the credit game is I get to take my kids, my brothers, my sisters, my family, my friends on trips all over the world and almost always pay for it with credit card points. You know, Dave Ramsey is known to say that he's never met a millionaire that become a millionaire from credit card points. That's probably true. But I can tell you, most millionaires use points to pay for things they don't want to pay cash with. Because after all, credit card points are tax-free. So why would you spend money on an airfare ticket or airline ticket or hotel room with taxable money? So we'll teach you how to maximize the credit card point game as well. So you can take your family on vacations. Think about that. What if you could rent your house, rent it out for $5,000 a week, use that $5,000 plus your points, take your family on vacation? Just a possibility, just something to think about. Have you ever felt like there's just a piece missing? Like you do everything right. You went to school, you got good grades, you're a good wife, you're a good husband, a good father, good mother. But there's always more month left at the end of the month than money. You're paycheck to paycheck. It's like, what am I doing wrong? Have you ever met somebody that makes like a lot of money more than you, and you're like, how does that person make so much money? They're dumb. I figured it out. There's a missing piece. The missing piece, I believe, is education. Because our government doesn't want us to know about money, credit, and taxes. That's why we're not taught about money in school. They really don't want us to know anything about money. So the missing piece, I believe, is using credit as a tool, not as a trophy. The reason I have this picture here with American Express, Discover, MasterCard, and Visa is that's one of the things you need to have in order to have great credit. All four. At least three, but preferably four. But if you start using credit as a tool and not as a trophy, you can become financially free using and leveraging your credit. And when you apply that with the education that we teach at Fortress University, it really compounds. You can pay off your mortgage in 10 years without making extra payments. How to drive a Ferrari for the cost of a Camry. All of these courses are inside of Fortress University. You get access to them. Most of them are set up in 2 to 3 minute long videos in order of importance. So instead of scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, you pull up your phone, open up the app, and watch a couple videos of me teaching about money. And then when you're done, after 2-3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, you're done. Come back next week or the next day or whatever. And if you do that consistently, money's no longer going to be a concern for you. Bad credit's going to be a thing of the past. Anywhere you go, you get approved. I still remember the feeling in my stomach of going into a car dealership, knowing that I had bad credit, trying to figure out how I was going to explain why I had bad credit to this sales rep that did not care. And that pit in my stomach, hoping and praying that maybe they wouldn't see something on there and I'd get approved for that car loan. It's been a long time since I've had credit like that, but I can tell you I still know what it feels like. I've had every single negative account that you could possibly have on my credit report. Collections, charge-offs, bankruptcy, short sales, foreclosures, repossessions, liens, all of them. I had it all removed. And since then, I've removed millions of other items just like that for hundreds of thousands of clients, just like you. So that's how I know I'll be able to help you. And I do this through Fortress University and then live coaching. I do live coaching every Thursday. First Thursday of the month, we talk about credit, personal credit. Second Thursday of the month, we talk about business credit, starting a business, managing a business, scaling a business. On the third Thursday of the month, we talk about tax savings, tax strategies. And then through those days, we can talk about credit every single day, but it's focused on business credit or taxes. Everything I teach, I do it. This is not theory. I'm not a social media influencer that has a program to sell you, but I've never done anything in my life. I've been an entrepreneur since I was in the 20s. First multimillionaire in my family. Remember, I grew up poor, really poor. Everything I teach you, I do it myself. So you're going to learn from someone who's actually doing it versus a professor at college that's never done it. So this is it, financial freedom. Higher credit score, you don't pay. I'm going to save you at least $5,000 in income tax. So this is how much it would cost you if you were going to hire someone else to teach you this stuff. I'll save you $5,000 in your income tax on average. That's what we save our clients. We used to charge $3,000 for our credit repair system. We don't anymore. I still charge $500 a month for the coaching. You get 12 months of coaching with me. Trade line. That's when we put a credit card that's been open for a long time on your credit to boost your credit score. And then 5 days of $50,000. We teach you in 5 days, 5 sessions. They're all about an hour long. How to establish a business and get $50,000 of funding for your brand new business. All of these things, you can see the price there. If you added this all up, this is how much your investment would be, $18,500. Worth every penny. Think about that. If you save $5,000 a year in 4 years, you're making money. Just get rid of all the rest of the stuff. But you're not going to pay that. In fact, you're not going to pay any of those. Nope. Not anymore. And the reason for it is because November 25th, 2023, just over a year ago, I had a massive heart attack. Prior to my heart attack, my goal was I was going to leave millions of dollars to my kids. That was my legacy. Since having my heart attack, I want to help millions of other people leave money for their kids. And so I've completely turned our business upside down, redid the pricing, redid the offers, the strategies, all in an attempt to help more people. Because for 15 of the 17 years, we were one of the most expensive credit repair companies in America because we only charged after we fixed your credit. And the only way you stay in business for 15 years getting paid after the fact is if you're really good. And then 2 years ago, I changed it to education. And it was between $3,000 and $7,500 for the education. And then you got the credit repair for free. But I found that with this economy, a lot of people want it, but they just can't afford it. So my medical emergency turned into your financial benefit, and I'll share that with you. See, to get all of that, it's not going to cost you $18,000. It's not $5,000 for the tax savings, $3,000 for the credit repair, $6,000 for the coaching, $2,000 for the credit cards, or $2,500 for the business class. It's $18,500. That's what it's going to cost you. $1 today. That's it. So if you have $1 and you want to try this out and see what we can do to fix you up, take out your phone and scan in that QR code. If you're on your phone, you can type in shop.fortressu.com. It's $1 to get started, and that $1 goes to the credit bureaus to verify your identity, because that $1 actually goes to Credit Mojo, which is a credit monitoring company that we use to look at your credit. It doesn't even go to Fortress. It goes to Credit Mojo. $1 to get started. Once you click on that, you're going to choose what plan you want. You're going to schedule an onboarding call. So you can pay the $1. You're going to pick either the $149, so it's $149 a month, cost of going to dinner at a decent restaurant that has no long-term benefit for you. So you go to that website, shop.fortressu.com. We'll put it in the chat for you. Or you scan in that QR code. If you are a business owner and you're attending right now strictly just to build business credit, you have good personal credit, you just want the tax advice and the business credit, you pick the $299. As soon as you pay that, here's what happens. You get access to our business credit portal. You have over 500 banks and vendors that want to loan you money. You simply follow the prompts. Money starts flowing in. If you have bad credit and you want to correct it, it's $149 a month. That includes $40 a month of credit monitoring, because Credit Mojo is normally $39.95, almost $40. We pay for that for you. So $149. Cancel anytime. If you don't like it, cancel. If it doesn't work for you, cancel. It's extremely rare that anybody ever cancels on us after they get into the system. So the reason that we're allowing you to enroll tonight with no cost except for the credit report, because I need your credit to do your onboarding call, but to enroll with us, no cost, is so you can see it. So if you sign up tonight, you get to log in, you get to see the education, you get to see the coaching, all the past coaching. You get to dig around in there, mess around. And you got a couple days, and then you schedule your onboarding call. We go over your credit report with you. If you want to stick around, we implement it. If you're like, yeah, this isn't for me, I changed my mind, no big deal. We close your file. So that's it, $149 a month, cancel anytime. That's barely enough for us to even pay for the paper, the certified mail, the ink, the processors. So if it's barely enough money for us to even make any money, how do we stay in business for 17 years? We make our money off of the litigation, off the lawsuits against the credit bureaus, the collection companies, the cell phone companies, like I showed you. That check for $8,000. That's how we make our money, is by suing them, similar to a personal injury attorney. You got in a car wreck, you got hurt, you need an attorney. You don't pay them money out of your own pocket. The insurance company pays them. We do the same thing, but on the legal side, for the credit side. So again, to enroll, it's very simple. You scan in this QR code. Well, the next slide. When you do enroll tonight, even though it's not going to cost you anything, no dollar, nothing. The dollar's for Credit Mojo, but for Fortress, you're not going to pay us anything. You are going to get 3 gift certificates that you can give to your friends. Give it to your wife, give it to your husband, your children, your neighbor, coworker. Have you ever wanted to refer a business to someone, but you were afraid that that business might make you look bad? You're like, well, I'm going to try it out. Let's see how this goes. I'll sign up for credit repair and let's see how it goes. And then if it works, I'll tell everybody. I've heard that so many times over the last 17 years that we decided we're just going to give you 3 gift certificates. You can give them to anybody. They get their first month with us absolutely free. So if you're married, you sign up. As soon as you sign up, you get 3 gift certificates. Give one to your wife. She can sign up, or your husband or your brother, your sister, whatever. And then they get to enroll for free. And then if they stay with us, because remember, they get 30 days for free. If they decide that, like, I really like this, I'm going to stick with this, then you get the next month for free. So essentially, you get $450 here in gift certificates by signing up tonight. And here's the thing. If you sign up tonight and then you call in tomorrow and you're like, yeah, I didn't like this. This isn't for me. I don't really need it. I thought I needed it, or whatever. You still get the gift certificates. You still give them to your friends. And now they get a free month. Can't beat that. So to get started, you simply scan that in. Take out your phone, scan that in, or go to that website right there, shop.fortressu.com. That's shop.fortressu.com. So that's all I have for you tonight. What I'm going to do now, though, is I'm going to open up the chat, and I'm going to see what kind of questions we have, because I promised you I would answer your questions. If you are live on Zoom or YouTube or any of the other ones and you want to unmute yourself and ask me a question, that's fine. If you want to type it in here, that's fine as well. Okay. I'm going to leave this open just a little bit so whoever's the stragglers can scan it in. If you're on your phone, get your wife to come over and scan it, or your friend or whatever. So let's see here. Let's go through. Carrie says, I'm out. I'm unemployed, so even that is too much right now. I'm sorry that you are unemployed. You know, that really sucks, Carrie. It's really unfortunate, especially considering there's 15 million open jobs right now. It sucks that you're not able to find one of those. It's not in your area or your expertise. That really sucks. I wish I could do it at no cost for you. Unfortunately, when you have attorneys on payroll, paralegals, credit consultants, electricity, internet, stamps, certified mail is almost $6 an envelope. I wish I could do it for free, but I can't. If you can't afford $1, you probably couldn't even afford to send in a certified mail. It's $6. So, but Carrie will be around. We're not going anywhere. We've been here 17 years. Let's see here. Somebody says, do you need to have a balance on at least one credit card at all times? Oh, that was off of YouTube. The answer to that is yes. You need to actually have activity on every single credit card that you have. Because if you don't have activity on every credit card you have, they'll eventually close them, or at least FICO will completely ignore it. So yes, you have to have activity on every card. You do not have to have a balance, though. You have to have activity. So what I mean by that is you pay off your credit card in full every month. And by paying off the credit card in full, then you have activity, but not a balance. You're not paying interest. Somebody says, I just got here. I'm a retired veteran with bad credit. Thank you for your service. Can you help me, and how much will it cost me? Yes, I can help you. It's going to cost you $1 tonight for the credit report, and then you choose what program you want. If you want our VIP white glove service, it's $149 a month. That includes your credit monitor. If you can't afford the $149, we do have a do-it-yourself or done-with-you program. You just pay for the credit monitoring, which is $39.95, and then we'll let you use our software completely free, and then you simply just mail the letters and put stamps on them or send them certified mail. So we do have programs for everybody. So if you can't afford $149, you can afford $40 a month. Then you simply just sign up for your onboarding call so you can get the information, and then we just switch it behind the scenes with the Credit Mojo, and you pay $39.95, and then you get access to all of our software. Same software that I use. The difference is you have to put in the username and password, and you got to print your own letters and mail your own letters. But we're here to help you. You know, if you sign up for the $39, that's fine. We're here to help you. We'll answer questions. Call in Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. There to help you. But if you don't have time to print your own letters, you don't want to go to the mailbox or the post office and pay $6 an envelope. That's 3 bureaus. That's $18 there. And if you got 10 accounts, you got to send a letter per account. You got 10 accounts. That's $60 in just certified mail. So if you want us to pay for that, it's $149 a month. All right, I'm going to go over here to YouTube. Lots of questions over here. Meek says, I just got my bankruptcy discharged. Now get 3 credit cards, auto loan, and move smarter. And sign up with us, because the fastest I've ever gotten a bankruptcy removed after discharge date was 3 weeks, 21 days. 3 weeks after discharge, completely deleted from all 3 credit reports. And we delete bankruptcies all the time. So just because you file bankruptcy doesn't mean it has to stay on your credit report. Like I said, I've had everything that could possibly be reported on your credit. I've had it every time. Let's see here. How much is that? It's the same as the normal program, $149. So you pay $1 tonight. That gives us access to look at your credit, to soft inquiry. We look at your credit during the onboarding call. We point out all the things wrong with your credit. We tell you exactly, literally exactly how many points you can obtain by going through our program. I think we are the only credit repair company that has this software. In fact, we are the only ones that has this software that I can literally click a button and instantly tell you exactly how many points you are losing due to your payment history, and how many points you're losing because you're not managing your credit cards the right way. So for $1, we do all of that for you. Oh, let me get to the Paul or Rawl says the credit monitor is more expensive than Experian. Okay. Rolls Royces cost a lot more than Ford Pintos. That's true. Experian is a credit bureau. Credit Mojo, the credit monitoring, is the system that we use to fix your credit. So yes, that happens. I already got that one. What's this one? Brian Wade from YouTube says, what's the earliest age you can add a child to a credit card to help Head Start? 6 months to a year. Basically, it's really about 2 weeks. As soon as they have a social security number, you can add your child to your credit report. As soon as they have a social security number, you can add them. So I'll give you an example. My grandson turns 13 tomorrow. He's been on my credit cards for, I don't know, 7, 8 years. 2017. So yeah, 7 years. When he turns 18, my grandson will have an 800 credit score. Do you think that's going to give him an advantage, considering that 72% of all businesses check your credit before offering you a job? Do you think when my grandson turns 18 and they pull his credit and he's the only applicant that's got an 800 credit score at 18 years old, I think it's going to help him. I know it's going to help him if he decides to start a business. I know it's going to help him if he decides to buy a car, because he's already 10 years ahead of everybody else. Because it takes 10 years to build an 800 credit score. So when he's 18, he will have the credit score. If he did everything perfect until 28 years old, he'll have that same credit score at 18. So add your kids as fast as possible. I'm going to answer this one. This one says, this is from YouTube, God in an AI form. What do you have multi-millions in? Well, look, if you know me, you will know that I'm a very transparent guy. So I will tell you, I have a lot of real estate, a lot of apartments, multiple businesses, cars, airplane, stuff. Stuff that I control. I own nothing, I control everything. And if you become a business client of mine, you will understand what that means. Own nothing, control everything. Raul says, does my program take American Express? Yes, we take everything. I'll take Bitcoin. American Express, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, check, cash, Venmo, Zelle, chickens, cows. Kind of joking on that, but not really. Guns. I used to do a lot with guns. People would, I would meet them through motorcycle riding and stuff. They're like, hey, I got the gun. Can you fix my credit for the gun? I know it sounds crazy, but I'll take anything that has value that I want. What is the difference between Mojo and Dispute Panda? Mojo is a credit monitoring system. So that's a credit monitoring program. Oh, I got some questions over on Zoom. I'll answer those next. Dispute Panda, I don't know what Dispute Panda is. Sounds like a credit repair disputing program. I don't know. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see. I'm going to go back over to Zoom. Oh, somebody posted on here with some credit cards have minimum ages that you can add your children to. So when you asked how old they have to be, you need to have a social security number, but some banks have minimum ages. So with my grandson, when I added him when he was 7, no, he was 6, those were on credit cards that I could add him to. So if you got a 5-year-old and you call your credit card company and they say you got to wait till 13, then you just got to wait. But I would add them as soon as possible. Let's see. Laura Harris, do you have any questions? I've seen you've been on here this whole time with me. I appreciate you. I like seeing people on the whole time. Makes me think that maybe I'm doing something good. Let me check on this one. Miguel says, what type of business will you assist us to begin after going through your system and fixing my credit? Whatever you want. Whatever you want. I like to help people turn their passions into profit. Because why not do what you are passionate about? Why do a business that you're not passionate about? You don't want to do it. Yeah, you can make a bunch of money, but money's not everything. Money does buy happiness, though. You ever heard that? Money can't buy happiness. Well, only people that have never had money say that. I can tell you 100% fact, and I can prove it. Money does buy happiness if you use your money to help other people. I promise you, if you had $1 million and you flew to Africa and you took that $1 million and you built a bunch of orphanages, you will not be depressed anymore. I promise you. Money does buy happiness. Meek says, best credit cards after bankruptcy. I burned American Express, Chase, Discover, and Wells Fargo. You didn't burn them. You did the legal, responsible thing to do for your financial situation. Banks do it all the time. You file bankruptcy. Banks, I'm not saying banks file bankruptcy all the time. I'm saying they do things to reduce their debt when it's a smart financial move. So best credit cards for that. We have a whole bunch on our website at fortresscreditpro.com. Click on credit cards. At the top, there's a tab that says credit cards. The first 2 won't give them to you because, they won't give them to you because you've had a bankruptcy in the last 2 years. All the rest of them should, though. So, and many of those are secured. However, after 6 months, so you give them $200, they give you a $200 credit limit. And then after 6 months, they raise it to $400. And then after a year, they raise it to $800. And then they give you back your money and they just keep raising the limit. So those are the best credit cards to go with. Someone asked, do I have an affiliate program? 100% I do. FortressCreditPro.com, click on Become an Affiliate. And then we'll pay you. And that's generally one of the businesses we should help you start is an affiliate business. Because, look, you're all busy. I'm not trying to get you to quit your job. I'm trying to help you pay less taxes at your W-2 job. So you have more money at the end of the month. And how do you do that? Through owning a business. Meek says he got 2 credit cards approved yesterday. Should he wait and get a 3rd one? No, just go and get it now. It's not going to make any difference. So when you do inquiries, you want to do them in a 45-day window. So all of your inquiries once a year, that way it counts as 1 inquiry. So if you do 3 or 4 inquiries every month for 12 months, at the end of the year, you got 36 hard inquiries. And all 36 impact your credit score in a negative way. Where if you went and did 36 all at once in the same 30 days, in the same month, counts as 1. Just a little credit hack for you. Okay?
All right. Give them away right away. I'm not sure what that means. All right, guys. I answered all the questions, I believe. Let me make sure. I hope you have a great night. I appreciate you. And I hope to see you on an upcoming coaching call and on the calendar tomorrow or Friday for your onboarding call. All right. See you later.